Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a silent killer of peace, clarity, and action: overthinking. In the modern world, we are more connected than ever, but our minds more cluttered than ever. We analyze, overanalyze, doubt, and repeat until we're frozen. But Master Shi Heng Yi, a Shaolin monk and a master of mindfulness, teaches us something profound. Your mind can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. So what's the solution? It's not more thinking, it's more awareness. Master Shi Heng Yi says, don't try to control every thought. Don't chase every scenario. Instead, observe your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. You don't fight them, you watch them. You return to your breath. You move your body. You root yourself in the now. Overthinking is living in the past or future, but living is only ever done now. So the next time your mind is racing, don't resist it. Don't feed it. Do this instead. Breathe, move, observe, be present. That's where power lives. That's where peace begins. And as Master Shi Heng Yi reminds us, clarity comes not from control but from stillness. Overthinking isn't just about thinking too much. It's about thinking without direction, without purpose, and without resolution. It's a state where your mind runs in circles, reanalyzing situations, replaying past conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, all while no actual progress is being made. Master Shi Heng Yi describes overthinking as internal noise that clouds our mental clarity, much like static on a radio blocking out the real signal. You may think you're being productive by analyzing things from every angle, but what you're really doing is delaying action. You're building fear-based illusions in your mind, not solving real-world problems. Overthinking is your brain trying to seek control in an uncertain world, but ironically, it causes you to lose control over your emotions, decisions, and peace. This mental chatter is deceptive. It gives you the illusion of doing something yet keeps you stuck. You replay a decision 100 times and still feel unsure. You worry about what others might think or what could go wrong, but forget to focus on what's actually happening right now. In the teachings of Master Shi Heng Yi, this overactive state of mind is considered a form of internal suffering, self-created and self-sustained. Left unchecked, it becomes a habit that drains energy, confidence, and even physical health. The body becomes tense, the breath shallow, and sleep disturbed, all because of the non-stop mental noise. True awareness begins by recognizing overthinking for what it is: a distraction from living in the present moment. And only once we can see that can we begin to silence the noise and return to a place of calm, clarity, and deliberate action. One of the most powerful teachings from Master Shi Heng Yi is this: you are not your thoughts. It might sound simple, even obvious, but truly understanding this can change your entire relationship with your mind. Most people live as if every thought they have is true, meaningful, or somehow reflects who they are. If a fearful thought arises, they become anxious. If a self-critical thought appears, they feel worthless. If a regretful memory resurfaces, they sink into guilt or sadness. But here's the truth: thoughts are just mental events. They are like passing clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. They arise, they linger, and they fade, but they are not you. Master Shi Heng Yi emphasizes that the mind is like a tool. Just like you wouldn't confuse yourself with a hammer or a phone, you shouldn't confuse yourself with the thoughts generated by your mind. Thoughts are influenced by memories, conditioning, fears, desires, stress, and even your environment. Some are useful, most are just noise. Once you realize you are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves, you take a step back from the chaos. That space, that gap between you and your thoughts, is where clarity begins. From there, you gain power. You can choose whether to engage with a thought or let it go. You can watch your mind like a movie playing on a screen, rather than being emotionally trapped inside every scene. This separation is also the foundation of mindfulness. When you meditate or become still, you begin to see thoughts arise, but instead of chasing them or reacting to them, you simply watch. This trains your mind to be calm, focused, and stable, even in the middle of life's storms. Master Shi Heng Yi teaches that this shift from identification to observation is one of the most important steps in mastering yourself. When you no longer believe every thought, when you stop letting them define who you are, you free yourself from a lifetime of mental suffering. Your thoughts may say, "I can't," but you are the one who chooses whether to believe that or move beyond it. Many people believe that the solution to overthinking is to gain more control over their thoughts, to force the mind to be quiet, to push away negative thoughts, or to replace every fear with a positive affirmation. But Master Shi Heng Yi teaches something profoundly different and far more effective. You don't need to control your thoughts. You need to observe them. Trying to control the mind often backfires. The more you try to silence your thoughts, the louder they become. The more you resist them, the more power they gain. This is because resistance creates tension. It adds more energy to the very thoughts you're trying to get rid of. It's like trying to smooth out water with your hands. The more you stir, the more ripples you create. Observation, on the other hand, is effortless power. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, without resistance, without trying to fix anything, you take away their grip on you. You shift from being inside the thought to being the watcher of the thought. And when you do this, something beautiful happens. The thoughts start to lose their emotional charge. They become lighter. They begin to dissolve on their own. Master Shi Heng Yi uses the metaphor of clouds passing through the sky. Your thoughts are the clouds. Some are dark and stormy, some are light and harmless, but you are the sky, vast, still, unshaken. No matter what thoughts arise, they cannot damage the sky. They simply pass through. This perspective changes everything. When you develop the skill of pure observation, you stop feeding the mental loops that cause anxiety, regret, fear, or doubt. You begin to see patterns, like how the same worries come back in different forms. And slowly you realize you don't have to fight every storm. You can let it pass. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. Observation is not weakness, it's awareness, and from awareness comes choice. You may still choose to act on a thought or not, but you do it from a place of clarity, not compulsion. In truth, real mental strength isn't about overpowering the mind, it's about understanding it. By stepping back and simply witnessing what arises, you transform your inner world without force. As Master Shi Heng Yi teaches, stillness is more powerful than struggle. And true stillness begins when you stop trying to control everything and simply become present enough to see things as they are. In the midst of overthinking, anxiety, and emotional overwhelm, one of the simplest yet most profound teachings Master Shi Heng Yi offers is this: return to the breath. Why the breath? Because it is always with you. It is always happening in the present moment. Unlike your thoughts, which pull you into the past or future, the breath is now. When the mind is racing with thoughts, fears, or distractions, you need an anchor, something steady to hold on to while the storm passes. The breath becomes that anchor. You don't need to change it, force it, or judge it. Just notice it. Feel the air flowing in and out of your nose. Feel your chest rise and fall. Let your attention rest on the rhythm of your breathing. Master Shi Heng Yi reminds us that by focusing on the breath, we can create distance from mental chaos. It gives the mind a single point of awareness instead of being pulled in 10 different directions at once. This gentle shift in focus activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body, slowing the heart rate, and quieting the mind. In ancient Shaolin practice and in many mindfulness traditions, the breath is seen as a gateway, a bridge between the body and the mind. When your mind becomes too loud or agitated, you can return to the breath to bring both back into balance. It's not about breathing a special way, it's about bringing your attention to something real and alive within you. Even just 10 conscious breaths, slow, deep, and present, can pull you out of spiraling thoughts and into a state of clarity. In those few moments, your awareness shifts from abstract mental noise to direct physical experience. You begin to sense the ground beneath your feet, the stillness of the room, and your own inner strength returning. Over time, this habit rewires your response to stress and overthinking. Instead of reacting with panic, you respond with presence. You stop identifying with every anxious story your mind tells you, because now you know you have a tool, a technique, a path back to peace. And what's more beautiful is that this tool doesn't cost anything. You don't need technology, advice, or validation. You already have it, right now. The breath is your reminder that you are alive, and that this moment, however imperfect, is enough. As Master Shi Heng Yi teaches through his presence and practice, when life becomes too much, when your mind is no longer your ally, the first step is always the same: come back to your breath. In the teachings of Master Shi Heng Yi, one truth becomes very clear. The mind and the body are not separate. They are connected in every breath, every step, every moment of awareness. When one is in disharmony, the other suffers, and just as mental stress can weigh heavily on the body's stiffness, fatigue, tension, physical movement can liberate the mind. When you find yourself overthinking, spiraling in your thoughts, unable to find clarity, one of the fastest ways to break that loop is not through more thinking, but through movement. This doesn't mean intense exercise or a complicated fitness routine. It can be something as simple as walking, stretching, or practicing Qigong, which Master Shi Heng Yi often teaches as a form of moving meditation. Why is movement so effective? Because the mind craves rhythm, flow, and release. When your body moves with intention, your attention shifts from the mental world of thoughts to the physical world of sensation. You begin to feel rather than think, and in that shift, overthinking begins to loosen its grip. In Shaolin philosophy, every movement, no matter how small, is an opportunity to become present. The breath synchronizes with motion, the senses awaken, and awareness settles into the body. It becomes difficult to obsess over yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's problems when you are fully engaged in the now, when your muscles stretch, your heartbeat rises, and your lungs fill with air. Moreover, movement triggers a physiological reset. It releases endorphins, reduces cortisol, and boosts blood flow to the brain. These aren't just chemical changes, they're a reminder from your body that peace is possible, and that you don't have to live in a prison of thought. Master Shi Heng Yi often demonstrates slow, mindful movements not to show strength, but to teach stillness in motion. In his view, physical movement is not about distraction or escape. It's about alignment, aligning the body, the breath, and the mind into one harmonious flow. This is what breaks the cycle of overthinking and brings you back to your center. Next time your mind feels chaotic, try this: stand up, stretch your arms, feel your feet on the floor, go for a walk without your phone. Breathe in sync with each step. Allow your body to lead. You'll notice how the fog in your mind begins to clear, how your inner world slows down, and how perspective returns not by force, but through natural release. Because, as Master Shi Heng Yi wisely shows us through his teachings, sometimes the best way to calm the mind is to move the body. One of the deepest insights Master Shi Heng Yi shares is this: anxiety cannot survive in the present moment. It exists only in our thoughts about what was or what might be, and yet, how often do we live anywhere but now? Overthinking thrives on time, especially time that isn't real. We replay the past, trying to make sense of what we should have done differently. We jump into the future, imagining every possible outcome, failure, or judgment. The mind becomes like a pendulum, swinging between regret and worry, and with each swing, we drift farther from peace. But presence, true, grounded presence, is a force more powerful than any thought. To be present means to come back to what is actually happening right now, not the story in your head, not the fear about tomorrow, not the guilt from yesterday, but this breath, this moment, this sensation, this life as it is. Master Shi Heng Yi teaches that the present moment is not just a nice idea, it's a discipline. It requires practice to catch your mind when it wanders, to notice when thoughts start to build mountains out of molehills. But once you do, you realize something life-changing. Most of your suffering is not from life itself, but from the mental movie you play about life. Anxiety is a master of illusion. It convinces you that something terrible is just around the corner. But when you sit still, breathe deeply, and look around you with full awareness, you often find that nothing is wrong right now. The room is quiet, your body is safe, the only storm is in your mind, and that's where presence becomes your superpower. Master Shi Heng Yi uses practices like meditation, mindful walking, and slow breathing to train the mind to stay anchored in the now. He shows that the present moment is not just where peace is, it's where life is. All of your senses, all your strength, all your clarity, they are only accessible when you are here, fully, without distraction. You can't solve the past, you can't control the future, but you can be awake to this moment, and from that wakefulness, you can choose your next step with wisdom rather than fear. In presence, thoughts lose their grip. In presence, clarity returns. In presence, you become free from the illusions your mind creates. As Master Shi Heng Yi teaches through his quiet example, don't live in thoughts, live in awareness, live in now. In a world addicted to speed, stimulation, and constant motion, stillness has become rare, almost uncomfortable. We're conditioned to believe that the more we do, the more we solve, that thinking harder, planning longer, and doing more will bring us clarity. But as Master Shi Heng Yi wisely teaches, it's often the opposite that is true. Clarity is not found in noise, it is born from stillness. When your mind is clouded with worry, when thoughts race and emotions spiral, what you need is not more input, more analysis, or more opinions. What you need is space between thoughts, space between breaths, space between reacting and responding, and this space can only be found in stillness. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It means becoming fully aware, fully present, fully alive without chasing or resisting anything. It's the quiet watching of your inner world without judgment. It's the ability to sit with yourself without distraction and allow your thoughts to settle like muddy water clearing on its own. Master Shi Heng Yi often speaks about the Shaolin path as one of discipline and inner alignment, not chaos and confusion. The monks train their bodies with precision, but more importantly, they train their minds to be still. Not still as in empty, but still as in clear, sharp, and grounded, because only in this state of quiet inner focus can we see what is truly important and take action without being controlled by fear, doubt, or impulse. Think of your mind like a snow globe. Shake it up, and everything inside becomes chaotic and blurry. But set it down, let it rest, and slowly everything settles. The same happens within you. Stillness brings natural clarity, not forced answers. It allows your deeper wisdom to rise to the surface, the way a reflection appears on a calm lake. When you cultivate stillness through meditation, breathing, or mindful solitude, you create a powerful shift. You move from reaction to reflection, from overwhelm to understanding, from chaos to choice. You become able to hear the whisper of your own intuition, which is so often drowned out by the constant noise of an untrained mind. This is not about escaping the world or avoiding challenges. It's about meeting life with a clear mind and an open heart, because when your mind is still, your energy is not scattered. your attention becomes like a laser, precise, present, and powerful. And from that place, you make better decisions, speak more truthfully, and act with greater impact. As Master Shi Heng Yi reminds us in his teachings and presence, true clarity is not something you chase. It is something you allow, and it comes when you stop doing, stop fighting, and simply be still. So now you understand overthinking is not a sign of intelligence, it is a sign of disconnection. Disconnection from the body, from the breath, from the present, and ultimately from your true self. Master Shi Heng Yi doesn't offer a quick fix. He offers something far more lasting, a path back to inner stillness, to awareness, and to mastery of the self. This journey begins not with doing more, but with letting go. Let go of the need to control every outcome. Let go of the belief that every thought must be true. Let go of the idea that peace lies somewhere in the future, because everything you're seeking, clarity, calm, strength, focus, already exists within you, beneath the noise. You just need to be quiet enough to hear it, and in the words of Master Shi Heng Yi, don't focus on controlling the wind, learn how to adjust your sails, breathe, move, observe, be present, be still, and let the mind return to what it was always meant to be, a servant to your awareness, not its master.